If you've got a good visual and physical connection with your pentatonics, then these become very helpful in piecing together our modes. As you've seen, we could take a couple of minor pentatonics, say on the 2 and the 3, where the chords are minor, put them together, overlap them, and we get a result of a Phrygian and a Dorian scale. If we use those and go back to the 6 and play the pentatonic minor, incorporating some of the same notes, we're going to get an Aeolian scale. So we've spent some amount of time developing our modes. We've done G Ionian, the 1 chord. On the 2 chord, the A Dorian. On the 3 chord, we've seen the Phrygian for the B. We've been on this E chord. I have to use the open in the key of G to play an E Aeolian. And if we had G Ionian on the G note here, we also had F sharp Locrian, the 7th mode, the diminished. There's a diminished chord. I usually just use that fingering as a substitute for my Ionian. So it only leaves us 2 more, the 4 and the 5. They're major chords. Just to get myself back into this range of the guitar where you can see everything, I'm going to move to the key of D. In D, the 1 chord is D. That would be an Ionian scale on D. The 4 chord is G. The 5 is A. 6 relative minor is B minor. F sharp minor is the 3. E minor is the 2. So what we've talked about before is that a pentatonic major is basically an arpeggio. So if we have a G major chord, we should have a G major pentatonic on the 4. So G is here, and we can do G major pentatonic. That's usually G, the 1 chord in the key of G, but right now I want to think of it as the 4 chord in D. The pentatonic major is lacking the 4 and the 7. Those are the half steps, so those are removed. So while we're playing in the key of D, we could use G major pentatonics. We could also use A major pentatonics. So here's your G major pent. At the 5th, I could play an A major pent. For the moment, I want to go backward though. We also know that we have F sharp is the 3, one of the minors in D. If I go to this F sharp, and it's minor, so play a pentatonic minor. This note of the G major is in it, so is this. But there's the C sharp from the F sharp scale. There's an F sharp. There's C sharp and F sharp again. Recognize your little dice box there again. We'd found this as part of a Dorian, and we've seen it as a part of an Ionian. Now I'm on the 4 chord, the G. When you see that I've overlapped a G major pent with an F sharp minor pent, I've once again got F sharp Phrygian. Previously, I've used the 2 minor pentatonics on the 2 and the 3 to create this Phrygian. Because the 2 and the G, the 4, are related, then the G major will give us the exact same effect. So G major pent with F sharp minor will give us Phrygian. So here's G major with some F sharp minor, G major, F sharp minor, F sharp minor, G major. The result is F sharp Phrygian, or a major scale for G, the Lydian. We've got 1, 2, 3, we had 5, and now we have this sharp 4 in it. Lydian has a sharp 4. The 4th mode of the scale is Lydian. It has a sharped 4 from the 1 of the key. So we're in the key of D where C's are sharp. On G, that's a sharp 4. So we've got pentatonic major has no 4s or 7s. When I use the 3 minor pentatonic and the 4 major pentatonic to build a mode, I put the 4 in as a sharp and the major 7. So I've got a raised 4 and a 7 creating my little dice box there of the sharp 4 to 5, 7 to 1. Here's G pentatonic major again. Now I want to overlap it with A pentatonic major. So we get this note and this for A. This note that I found in the F sharp is back. There it is again. Once again, because this chord and the 3 chord are related. They're going to have the same notes anyway. So A major pentatonic gives us the sharp 4 and 7 for the G. I'll put them back up here again. But the G puts into the A scale a 4 and a flat 7. So G Lydian has a sharp 4 and a normal 7. A is now a Mixolydian. It has a 4 and a flat 7. So we've got root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, flat 7, root in A. Second, third, we've got the fourth back here, or we can put it here. 5, 6, flat 7, or flat 7, and root and 2 again. So now I've got G Lydian with a sharp 4 and a 7, or A Mixolydian with a 4 and a flat 7. In the key of D, here's G pentatonic major and A pentatonic major, G and A. The F sharp minor is the same as the A major. So when I combine the two, a G major chord and an A major chord, a G pentatonic major and an A pentatonic major, I get G Lydian with its sharp 4, and I get A Mixolydian with its flat 7. Those two notes are the same. Sharp 4 and 5, 7 and root in Lydian, or 3 and 4, 6 and flat 7 in Mixolydian. Same notes then in both, but just a new shape and a new fingering based on the pentatonic major. Pentatonic major was missing the 4 and 7. Just as we saw in Dorian, when we put the 2 and 6 in, they lean over and fill the gap closer to the flat 3 and flat 7. In the Phrygian, we moved them back to flat 2 and flat 6, so they moved one way or the other. Same thing here, the 4 and 7 are filling up these gaps differently. They'll be over here in Lydian, over here in Mixolydian. We get this C sharp and F sharp put in there as a sharp 4 and a 7. They show up here again as well, so we get our little boxes. In A, we've got the C sharp already. We put the D and the G in. That gives us a 4 and a flat 7 in A. So Lydian has a sharp 4 and a 7. Mixolydian has a 4 and a flat 7. The 4 and the flat 7 show up here again. So you can learn these two modes, the major modes of the major scale, the 4 and the 5, the Lydian and the Mixolydian, with pentatonic majors as their skeletons, and all you have to do is squeeze in the sharp 4 and 7, or the 4 and flat 7. The two then will be played overlapping, just like the two minors were to give us Dorians and Phrygians. I'll wreck this a little bit by putting one more note on it. So there's also the 3 mode, the Phrygian. This is all very handy for me because it really allows us to see how each one is just the same notes moving jigsaw-wise up the guitar neck.